Most business owners are relying on content on social media that disappears just too quickly. So they're constantly having to start over to keep the algorithms happy, and that's just to stay as relevant or visible as possible. But the minute you stop posting, someone else fills in that space.
Welcome to the Goalbusters Expert Peak Productivity Tips podcast, where top business experts get just 7 minutes to answer 5 rapid-fire questions about what they do and how they stay productive.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Robin J. Emden, and I'm an accountability coach and the author of Get Resultsology, The Science of Getting Stuff Done. I work with people who run their own business. No boss, distractions everywhere, and never enough hours in the day. Together, we cut through the noise, sharpen their focus, and follow through on the big ideas that actually move the needle. That's what I call the momentum formula. Do it today, profit tomorrow, and repeat. So, if that sounds like the kind of breakthrough that you've been looking for, then you're in exactly the right place. And speaking of being in exactly the right place, I am delighted to welcome our guest expert today, Dana Bahr. Dana is a straight-talking Pinterest strategist, podcast host, and former wedding planner who helps creative, service-based business owners grow with clear, sustainable marketing. Through Dana's desk, she turns Pinterest into a reliable source of visibility, traffic, and clients without hustle, gimmicks, or strategies that demand round-the-clock work. Dana, welcome to Goalbusters.
Thank you. I'm super excited to be here.
I'm super excited you're here too. I'm really interested to hear about what you do. And whereabouts in the world is here for you?
So I'm based in North Carolina, just outside of Charlotte, so along the East Coast.
Oh, excellent. Well, I'm waving, but I don't think you can see me. I think the curvature of the earth probably precludes that. Waving all the way from
Just a
England.
smidge.
Just a smidge. That's an excellent word. Just a smidge. Anyway, I'm waffling on. Shall we do the questions instead?
Absolutely.
All right, I'll bring the clock up on the screen, and there it goes. Dana, could you tell me, please, who is your ideal client?
So my ideal client is a service-based business owner, primarily a wedding planner, but I do work with coaches, consultants, and other creatives who are already showing up, but not seeing the consistent results from their marketing. So they're usually juggling a lot, whether that's with clients, family, both of those things. And they're tired of feeling like their visibility depends on how often they post or constantly having to be on without being able to take a break.
Yeah, excellent. Very clear and a very valuable service you've just described to me there. He speaks with first-hand knowledge of. So, not of your particular service, but the demand is definitely there. I'm certain of that. So what exactly then is the problem or problems that you solve for your clients?
I help solve the problem of inconsistent visibility. Most business owners are relying on content on social media that disappears just too quickly. So they're constantly having to start over to keep the algorithms happy, and that's just to stay as relevant or visible as possible. But the minute you stop posting, someone else fills in that space. So I help them turn what they're already creating into evergreen content that continues to work for them and builds momentum over time. And that is primarily through Pinterest so that they can attract clients without being online all the time.
Excellent. Okay. And very interesting that you use Pinterest. I'm quite intrigued by that. So what is one valuable free action that the audience can implement that will help them to solve this problem at least a little bit for themselves?
I always recommend by starting with identifying one piece of content that you already have. And so that could be a really popular blog post, or if you are in the wedding industry, a gallery that just was your top-notch wedding or event, a podcast episode, or even frequently asked questions from clients that you can turn into a free resource or lead magnet. And then ask yourself, what would someone type into Google or Pinterest to find this piece of content? From there, create 3 to 5 simple titles or angles around that one piece of content. And this alone is going to shift from you posting randomly to creating content that's going to be discoverable, not just entertaining.
Oh, fascinating. All right. Yeah, definitely. I might come back to that and swing back around if we've got time. So now that we have a better understanding of what you do, well, a little bit better, and that's my fault. I only gave you 3 minutes, so it's not really fair. Let's dive briefly into goal busting, focusing on how to maximize productive time to achieve your business goals. Could you share any tips or advice, Dana, for people looking to improve their productivity habits?
I think one of the biggest productivity shifts I've made is focusing on decisions before actually taking action, which sounds counterintuitive. But a lot of people feel unproductive because they're doing a lot of things. We're busy, but we're not clear on why we're doing the things. So when you decide what actually matters, whether that's what type of content, what platform, or even what goal you're working towards, everything becomes more efficient because you know what not to do, what to continue doing, and what you need to add more of. So clarity will create the capacity for you to get more done because you're focused on what deserves your time. You stop wasting energy on things that don't move your business forward, even though you feel busy.
Yeah, absolutely. Busyness doesn't mean that you're being productive on the things that really matter to you, I think is the core of what you're saying there. And I completely agree. And you said it very eloquently, so I don't need to embellish it with any further points. And so we'll move on to the final question, which is what should I have asked you today, Dana, that I didn't? And your answer, please.
I would say a good question, or one that I love to answer, is how do you build a business that supports your life instead of consuming it? And this is something that I've had to ask myself a lot over the years. Because for me, that's been the real goal, is not just growth, but sustainability. I'm not chasing financial freedom. I am chasing time freedom. And so everything that I do and everything I do for my clients is focusing on systems like Pinterest and Evergreen marketing because they allow your business to keep working even when you have to or want to step away and take a respite in any way, shape, or form.
Yes, indeed. Excellent. Thank you very much. And I'm so pleased we've still got a couple of minutes left because I've got a couple of really burning questions that I don't normally get to ask. So I'll stop waffling and ask them, which is the first question, and maybe the second one will be a follow up. The first question is, can you just I think out of 200 Goldbuster episodes, I don't remember anyone else, I'm probably doing them a disservice, using Pinterest as their primary social media platform, and that's not because people don't. It's something I've just not been lucky enough to find somebody. Could you explain to me why that is your go-to platform as opposed to the others?
So it's my go-to platform because Pinterest is not social media. I know it gets lumped into that category, but it is a visual search engine. So it is a platform designed for discoverability, which means your content that you curate and spend your time, energy, and effort creating becomes something that is a solution, and they're actively searching for solutions on this platform. They're not there to be entertained. They're not doom scrolling. They are intently looking for motivation, inspiration, education, something. So most people, it just aligns with how people make decisions. Most people don't buy the first time they see something. They research, compare, and think about it. And Pinterest is where that research phase happens, which is why I call it a 24/7 sales funnel, because it's always working for you in the background.
Fascinating. News to me because I don't use it. I think, I'm pretty sure I'm signed up to it somewhere, but I've never understood it. So in the final 30 seconds, you talked about, often it's wedding planners that you work with, but you work with other people as well. And it does sound to me like what you do is generic. It can be almost anything would lend itself to the skills that you bring to it. Am I right about that?
Yes, because Pinterest is the engine, but it's those long tail keywords, it's search intent, it's buyer intent, it's that data that allows you to tap into it. So using the podcast as an example, you could do how to stay productive as an entrepreneur, time management tips for business owners, how to stop wasting time in your business. Each of these becomes a pin that leads back to the same episode. So yes, wedding pros have a great market on here, but other industries and other niches can tap into that search behavior and lead it to their content assets again and again.
Yes, that's what I thought you would say. That's what I thought you would say, but I didn't know you would say that, and because I'm not the expert. So, but and I didn't know you'd say it that way because you said it in a way that an expert would say it, and I wouldn't have been able to even begin to have a stab at doing that. All right, fantastic. So we got through our 7 minutes beautifully there. Thank you so much for doing that. And at this point, I always ask one follow-up question, which is always the same question, and it's always a two-parter. Part one is how can people reach you? And part two is there like a valuable free resource they can get from you to dive a little bit deeper into what you do and get a better feel, and then maybe they'll have the courage and the wherewithal to say, yeah, I really need to get in touch with Dana.
Yes. So if any of this resonated with you in the 7 minutes that I had to share it, and you're thinking about how to make your marketing work longer for you, the best place is to start with my free resource. It's Pinterest as a 24/7 sales funnel, and it walks you through how to turn your existing content into something that keeps working for you time and time again. You can find that along with my other, favorite ways to connect on my website, which is ddvirtualmanagement.com. And if you're ready to actually implement this and want to feel simple or want it to feel simple getting started, that's why I created the Style Pin Collection. It gives you the templates and guidance to take your existing content, like your podcast or your blog post, and turn it into Pinterest content without overthinking it. It's only $32 a month, so it's a really simple way to start implementing and taking action without a big time or financial investment.
Fantastic. And I should just add that I did mention in the green room to Dana before we recorded this that would be fine to mention that because it's fine. It sounds brilliant. Go get it. Thank you very much, Dana.
Thank you.
Dana Bahr, it's been an absolute delight. It's been educational for me, and I hope it's been educational for a lot of our listeners and viewers too. I'm sure it has, and that's why I decided to take a little bit of the time that you generously gave us at the end of the 7 minutes, we still had a couple left, to dive a little bit deeper into what you do, because I think what you do is really important and very special. And thank you so much for sharing that with us today.
Thank you. Anytime.
You're very welcome. And remember, everybody, keep goal busting and make your future self proud. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Goalbusters. If you're enjoying it, please subscribe, rate and review it on your favourite podcast platform. Your support is very much appreciated. And if you're ready to boost your online profits, skyrocket your productivity, crush procrastination and see a positive change in your bank balance, all within just 30 days, this is your opportunity. Take my free 5-day challenge at www.skyrocketyourproductivitychallenge.com.